Hello everyone. This video announcement is related to the assignment for the annotated bibliography that you have due soon. It is important that you have read and watched all content in the Unit 1 folder up until this point if you wish to complete this assignment successfully. I'd like to highlight a couple of things in particular that you should have already read, and if you haven't, that you need to go back and read before you even attempt to do this assignment. The first thing I'd like to show you are the lecture notes, and the first set of those are called Writing Modes, Exemplification, and Thesis Development. These are the notes where I will explain very specifically how to go about creating a working thesis statement for the upcoming paper using the sources that I have provided the class and keeping in mind the prompts that I have given you to choose from. So these are the first things that you need to make sure that you've read or that you go back and review before you even attempt to do the assignment. The other thing that you need to make sure that you've read, in addition to all the other content up to this point, are the lecture notes called Developing a Working Thesis and Creating an Annotated Bibliography. This is where I will explain what an annotated bibliography is, what it's for, how to go about creating it, and I provide examples of that as well. If you don't read these things and watch the other content that is in the folder up to this point, you will be at a disadvantage. You'll have a lot of questions that will be easily answered if you read these lecture notes and watch all the other content in the Unit 1 folder up until this point. This week, we are still in the pre-writing process, but we are doing some things that will prepare us to start drafting the paper next week. So we have the annotated bibliography that's due. This is where you will present to me your working thesis statement, the sources that you think you would like to use to help you write the paper, and in the process of creating the annotated bibliography, you'll also be able to share with me a little bit of your vision of how you will use each one of those sources to develop your working thesis statement. The rest of the week will be devoted to you still working on things that are related to pre-writing, meaning things that we're doing before we actually get started with the writing of the paper, and that would be taking notes on the sources that you've chosen and creating an outline. So those are the other things that we'll be working on this week. So in total, we'll be working on the annotated bibliography. We'll be working on taking notes on the articles and the TED videos that you've chosen to use in your paper and creating an outline that will put a plan together for how to approach the writing of the essay. Once we have these things in place and have gotten some feedback on these things, we will be ready to start drafting the paper next week. But first things first, we've got to do these things week 4. I hope y'all have a great week. Let me know if you have any questions, but please make sure that you've read all lecture materials prior to beginning on any of the assignments that we have, not only this week, but all the rest of the weeks as well. I hope y'all have a great week. I'll talk to you soon.